Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Tyler Rugge. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I will be giving you guys my first look, my first impression, and kind of a review of the Zen Habitats brand new enclosure called the Meridian. It just came out in the United States. I just got mine yesterday. So overall at first glance, you probably aren't going to notice very much of a difference between the Meridian and the original enclosure design. But the main difference is within the setup process, and I'm going to be showing you guys the setup process from start to finish because I'm not kidding you, it took me like 3 minutes to completely set up this enclosure. And that's the entire point of the Meridian enclosure, is that it can be set up in minutes. With the previous enclosure designs, there were a lot of pieces that came completely disassembled, and this enclosure comes kind of folded up and you just have to unfold it and screw some pieces together. It comes with 8 screws and that's literally it. If any of you guys are interested in purchasing the Meridian or any other enclosures or products from Zen Habitats, I do have an affiliate link, which will be down in the description below, where if you use it and you purchase something, I get a small commission. And Zen Habitats is currently in the United States and Canada. Soon in early 2022, they will be coming to the UK. So the options for the Meridian enclosure are, it comes in 4x2x2, PVC or wood panels. The wood panels you're gonna wanna get if you're just using it for an arid setup, like let's say a bearded dragon. That enclosure can handle humidity levels of up to around 50%. And then if you're going for a more tropical setup and you're gonna need higher humidity, then you're gonna wanna go with the PVC panels, and those panels can handle humidity up to 100%. And then it also comes in the 48-inch by 24-inch by 16-inch PVC. And there's also a Meridian cabinet stand and a Meridian spacer. So yeah, I think that's basically it for my beginning of video rambling. Let's get straight into the setup process, shall we? I just unboxed the Meridian enclosure from Zen. So it basically just comes like this. It comes in this one piece, and then the 2 side panels are separate. I'll show you those in a sec. And then it came with some pieces. So there's only 8 screws that you have to screw in that they give you, and they also provide an Allen wrench to screw the screws in. So basically the way you set this up is you simply unfold it like so. Isn't that crazy? I think that's awesome. And then on each side, you just place the side panels and line them up with the holes for the screws, and you screw everything in, slide the doors in the front, and it's all set up basically. Like, this is so simple, and I love how half of it just comes collapsed like that. That's gonna make it extremely easy for if you're traveling, or like if you're moving and you need to move the enclosure from one place to the next. If you want to take it apart for whatever reason, it's just extremely easy to take out 8 screws and pull the 2 side panels off and just collapse this. Like, I don't think there are any enclosures that are that easy to take apart, put together, and transport. Like, it's just such a cool design. So then these are the 2 side panels it came with. Again, they already come assembled. I actually thought it would be fun if I timed myself to see how long it actually takes me to put this together, because I've never put this together before. And I just want to kind of see like how long it actually takes. I will be using a drill instead of the provided Allen wrench because I can work smarter, not harder. But obviously this would be completely fine. It just will take slightly more effort. 3, 2, 1, go. So we're gonna start by just unfolding it. I'm gonna line this piece right in the bottom. Does it wind up? I think it is. So just like that. I'm just gonna screw that in. And then So then I'm just turning it upside down, and there's also 4 screws at the bottom that I'm just gonna screw in. All right, and we're done. That literally took like 2 minutes. It's not technically completely put together, obviously, but there's a couple smaller steps that I just wanted to actually talk about as I did them. But for the most part, the majority of it is like, it's completely basically set up. And it took 2 minutes. The original one really isn't that hard to set up, but this is just so easy to set up. And especially if you need to set something up and take it apart ever, then this is just like the best option because it's so easy. I mean, 8 screws, that's it. Then you'll see that there's these little sliding tabs that you need to slide that way, and there's a little pin that's gonna go in a hole right here. And there's one of these on the other side, and then also one on the bottom on each side. And that's just going to secure the back panel to the side panels without having to use screws or anything. The only thing that does happen sometimes is this will not be lined up with the hole perfectly. Like the back panel will either be pushed in slightly or it might be pushed out slightly. So if it's pushed out slightly, you just need to try to lightly push it in and then align it and slide it in. But if it's pushed in slightly, then you can actually take this little suction cup tool that is provided with the enclosure. Suction cup this here, pull it slightly until the door is in place, and then as soon as it's there, you just slide that in and you're done. Alternatively, you could probably just push the back panel through, you know, the inside of the enclosure on the other side. I have long arms, so I can do that. But you'll just want to repeat that and do the latches on all 4 sides of the back panel. So I'm gonna go do that. So these are the doors. They're just acrylic and they come in this protective paper that just peels off. It's very satisfying to peel it. I love it. This is the door with the paper removed. Again, it's acrylic, but with the 4x2x2 enclosures, they do sell glass doors on their website. So if you would rather have a glass door, then that is also an option that you can purchase. Doors also come with handles, and those just screw in like that. And then the doors just pop right on in there like that. I need to grab the other one. I'm gonna do the same thing. We'll be back. So this is what the Meridian looks like all set up, and it's pretty much, again, just identical almost to the original Zen Habitats enclosure. The main difference is just how easy this thing is to set up. Of course, it's cool if you're just lazy or you don't want to put in a lot of effort, or again, if you, for some reason, maybe you move a lot or you just have a reason to need to transport an enclosure around. And it's really easy to disassemble and reassemble and put in a car or whatever. Also, if there's anyone who has like physical disabilities, or they just can't like lift parts and do physical labor for a long time, then it's also very good for anyone who just struggles with doing things like that, because it's just so simple to screw in like 8 screws and pretty much be done with it, as opposed to hammering pieces together, or just other enclosures in general where you kind of have to have more than one person and lift larger, heavier parts and screw them together, or do whatever. It's just really quick. Like, I've never seen an enclosure that assembles that quickly. And it's also just very accessible for people who might have struggles with putting together a traditional enclosure that takes a lot of effort. I think that's really cool, because I think making things that are accessible and easy for anyone to put together is really important. It's a lot more inclusive that way. So I want to talk about some of the other features and things that it comes with that I think is pretty cool. You'll notice the hole in the back. There are things that you do with that. That sounded weird. It comes with these. So you can put this in that opening in the back if you have cords that you want to go through into the enclosure, like if you're mounting lights up here. There's also just a plug if you don't plan on mounting any lights and maybe you're putting a snake or something in there that you don't want to leave. Then you can just plug it with this. It also comes with a substrate barrier. It's upside down also, not that that really matters. And what's also really cool that they thought about is with all sliding doors, there's going to be a little opening in between the doors. Obviously there has to be a space so that the doors can slide past each other. Now the issue with this is if you're keeping small animals in here, it might be a concern that they can slip between the crack between the doors. So if you're keeping a smaller snake in here and you're just worried about something slipping through here, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They provide these that you can put on the doors and you just glue them on there. And they also did provide the glue. So I'm not gonna be doing it right now because I don't feel like it, but I'll just set them in place and we can pretend that I'm using them. So they basically go like this on the edge of the doors. I probably don't have it lined up perfectly, but again, I don't plan on keeping them there right now. Basically just do something like that. Again, you're supposed to glue it. I don't feel like it. It just closes more of the gap right at the edge of the door. So, you know, there's like hardly any room. That's just to kind of block the opening a little bit so things can't get through there. And again, this isn't mandatory by any means, but there's a little lock. At first I looked at this and I was like, what the heck is this? I've never seen this before, but it's like a little, just very simple locking mechanism for the sliding doors. So this just slides in between the doors like this, and then you kind of twist it like that and set it there. And that makes it so the doors aren't going to open. So that's, you know, if you have an animal that you're afraid is gonna open the doors, then that's really cool. I mean, obviously it's a very simple locking mechanism and it's nothing fancy, but I think it's cool that they provide that with the enclosure because a lot of times you have to purchase your own lock for sliding doors. So if you just purchase this enclosure, it pretty much comes with everything you need, especially if you're putting an animal, again, that's gonna slide through the cracks or whatever. I just like that they provide all of the necessary tools for different scenarios that you might not even need, but if you do, then they're there, you know? I think that's cool. I'm going on forever, but another thing that I want to just stress to you guys is I love the screen top on the Zen Habitats enclosures, okay? I love them because it's so sturdy. I talked about this in another video where I kind of compared the Zen Habitats enclosures to Exoterra's as far as just their overall build and features and different things. And I compared the Zen Habitats screen top to the Exoterra screen top. I dropped things on them and this screen held up. So just very sturdy. There's also these support beams going across the top, which makes it extremely easy to mount lights on the inside. Again, if you guys are interested in purchasing a Meridian enclosure or even an original Zen Habitats enclosure, you can go ahead and use the affiliate link in the description below. So that is it for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you guys are new here. All my social media links are down in the description below, and I will see you guys in my next video.